Alright, what's up, stream? I'm back. Sorry, was putting away the Pidmini into the fridge. That's the truth. I'm sticking to it. Alright, so we're back. I'm gonna do probably another like 3 to 4 hours, probably not that much. I want to get an early night and get an early morning. Drinking some kombucha. Alright, so I while I was away, I had like some thoughts. I thought about the game, of course, and I have some ideas as to what direction we're going to take it. I had a chat to Tim as well. He's going to take the art in a slightly different direction as well, so we're going for something a little bit more voxely than we first maybe landed on. And the main kind of, well, the gist of it, of course, is basically the same as what we talked about in the planning kind of time, the planning session that we had, and that was basically you're delivering coffee to someone and it's in a war zone, and I guess you're delivering coffee to your general or whatever. And so the idea is you're running around with this coffee and you have to also fight off, of course, the enemies who are attacking you. And that's hard to do with coffee because you're literally holding like a cup of coffee, and so if you shoot, like, it's not going to be that effective. It's going to be kind of like not very accurate. And imagine having like a sniper rifle and then a cup of coffee and you can't put the coffee down. Well, at least you choose not to put the coffee down, so it's kind of like you're sniping them and it's not doing much. But wait, you can put the coffee down. And if you put the coffee down, yeah, you can actually properly like aim and shoot your gun, but the coffee is vulnerable, and you have to make sure that you don't lose the coffee. And the enemies will be like, screw this guy with the gun, I'm gonna go for the coffee, because they want the coffee as well. Everyone wants the coffee, is basically this game. And so that's the game. And I have a few kind of ideas of how I want the mechanics of it to go. So the first thing we're gonna do though is we're basically going to pull down the code that Peter has pushed, I believe. So he added basic player controller, camera controller, and this is a new scene called player controller testing, which we don't have to use that scene. We might not, because I'm kind of working on level generation, but it would be good to obviously see kind of what he's done. So let's pull this. Hopefully it'll automatically merge the asset registry, and it looks like it has. So if we run this, and there's going to be quite a lot of engine, well, not quite a lot, but there's going to be quite a lot of, there's going to be a decent amount of engine modification stuff I want to have to do. Namely, just like simple stuff, like I don't want every object to be rendered with the edge outline, so we're going to have like an exclusion list or something for objects that don't go through that, like particles, for example. Then I also want shadows not to be cast for certain meshes, which we should theoretically support, but I have a feeling that doesn't quite work. So like, for example, I don't want the particles to cast shadows. I don't want the gun, the gun model that the player is holding to cast shadows. So I'm going to have to exclude that. What do you like to eat the pimini with? I honestly like a bunch of stuff, and I don't necessarily do them all at once, but I like some diversity. So I have some butter. They're pretty much usually buttered up so they don't stick together anyway. And then I like some sour cream, some smetana. But then alternatively, I also like some soy sauce because it's almost like dumplings, kind of like Chinese dumplings. So I have some soy sauce, usually in a separate place, or something I can just pour a little bit on when I feel like it. And then smetana. Smetana I usually don't, or sour cream I don't usually spread over all of them. So that's my detailed strat for pimini. Alright. So let's take a look at Peter's scene, because I have not seen it yet. I've seen it a little bit on the stream, on his stream, but other than that, not quite. That git thing is fork, is the name of the app. How comes you know Russian? Because I am Russian/Moldovan. My parents, my dad's from Russia, my mum is from Moldova. I was born in Australia, but they brought me up speaking Russian. And I still kind of speak Russian with them, and with my wife's family as well, because they're Ukrainian. So yeah. Alright. That's bright. That's probably just because of the skylight. Oh, I need to compile the scripts. My bad. Oh, he probably added stuff to the script as well, didn't he? Oh, I need an engine pull. I do. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. Alright, so I need to pull engine as well. I don't think there's like a lot. It was just something in the actual scripting engine that was changed. Some fixes. All right. Now, what do I want to do? That I did. Yes, I need to build this, but I also need to generate this, right? So I need to call that. That should reload. Now I need to compile this. And let's launch it. What do you enjoy more, Pilmeni or Varyeniki? Funnily enough, we had both today. I went to the supermarket and I bought like both, like, I guess Varyeniki, which are basically like the little dumplings with potato and onion. And then also like pilmeni, which are a bit smaller and they have beef and pork in them. So, and then I boiled a big pot of water, like this big, and just dumped them both in there. And we have some leftovers, which is nice, but we actually had both pilmeni and varyeniki, so it's funny. Why not stream on Twitch? I kind of like YouTube, to be honest. I mean, apart from the fact that most of my audience is here, it's just really nice because you guys can rewind the stream. The stream is better quality. You can stream at a higher quality than you can on Twitch. Twitch is limited to 6 megabits per second, which kind of sucks. I'm streaming at 10 at the moment, and actually Tim's also in the same office streaming at 10 as well. Actually, I don't know what quality Tim's streaming at. But anyway, yeah, 10 megabits just seems to be fast enough, so I'm on like good quality enough. But 6 leaves a little bit to be desired. What else is good about this? The streams stay up, obviously. It's like an immediate VOD that doesn't disappear after 60 days. Yeah, just lots of benefits, kind of. Don't really see the benefit of Twitch too much, to be honest. Alright. So, what was I doing? Yeah, let's open Peter's scene. And the stupid skylight. Okay, cool. So, you can move around. Oh, you can rotate the camera like this. Oh, so you can't rotate with the mouse then? No, okay. Well, we'll make it so that you can maybe, but yeah. And that player is way too small, I think. Or is that just a 1x1 cube? I guess it is a 1x1 cube. It seems kind of small. Alright, so let's see how he set it up. So he has a camera rig with a camera rotator. That's checked. And then he has just a normal camera on it. And then that follows the player, and then the player entity is set. And that's kind of it. Oh, but there is a player controller here. And there's a camera rig as well. Okay. So let me quickly just jot this down, and I'm going to try and recreate this in my scene. I just want these same parameters, basically. So that's on the camera rig. Okay, and camera rig, camera, and player, and then... Oh, okay, that's actually... Oh, that is a cube? What's this then? Oh, he just made another cube here. That's fine, okay. So this is my scene, for those of you who haven't seen it. Which is a little bit different looking. Let's call this player 2, and we'll make another. So he had a player entity, which actually let's duplicate player 2. We'll get rid of the camera. We'll call it player. Cube, blah blah blah. Player 2, I'll just maybe move off into the distance. So this is player with cube. Now he had a script on it, which was. This has no script at the moment. Script on it, which was player, controller, camera rig we need to set up. So he had, I think, camera rig, and then a camera underneath that. I don't think the camera really had anything, but this had a script, which was the player, no, camera rotator, right? Camera rotator, follows player. Player is player. Rotation lifetime 0.5, that's correct. And what else did he have? Camera rig is camera rig, and 2.5. Alright, that actually should be it. Let's just hit play. Okay, that's not... Oh, we still have player 2's camera, which I'll uncheck from main for now. Okay, that does not look... Oh, he probably had... Let me just save this. He probably had a minus 45 degrees, 60, 60. I'll copy that. Okay, so that is very small though. Why is it like floating? Kind of cool actually. But why? Seems very far. Was it really that far in his example? Not really. Player scale is 1. Camera rig scale is 1. Then why is that so far? Is there a distance from player in one of these scripts? No. Wonder why that's the case then. I mean, it makes sense why it's far, I guess. Like, it's just the camera must be, you know, you can just do this. But it's just weird that it, yeah, because that was like 60 meters. Like, this is probably a little bit better. Well, also, why are you not on the ground, man? Well, look, it's falling. Why is it so slow? Look, it's just falling extremely slowly. What? These are the colliders. I still have my weirdo script on it, possibly. Or maybe not. No. I think it's just because I didn't copy... Let's go back to player control testing. I think I just didn't have... I didn't really copy this, maybe? Player. But no, but that doesn't have... That doesn't even have a rigid body on it. Oh, maybe the fact that that does is what screws it up. This player, right? Yeah, let's get rid of the rigid body. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's still far. So what did we say was good? Like 10? 10 by 10? I did those changes in play mode, that's why they didn't stay right. Okay, you're still not on the ground though, bro. Right? Well, no, that's the other one. Yeah, this guy's not on the ground. Oh, that might be my fault. Oh, that probably is my fault. It's just because this is in the air. It probably needs to be at 1 or something. Oh, yeah. But that's... You're not going to change the size, yeah? Yeah. Because I made the size specifically... Yeah, the height's fine as long as you keep the ocean fine. Yes, please. It's like 1.5. Don't really know why, but sure. Oops. Yeah, that's on the ground. Okay, so now we have this guy, and you can rotate the camera, which is cool, and it will follow. So if the mouse rotated the camera, I guess that would be nice. And then also Peter, I think what Peter did was he basically took this player and he added a little cube at like a little bit of an offset just to make it look like it was like a visor, but just so you could see basically which way you go. So I kind of like the idea of that. I might replicate that. I actually don't know if that's the right way. No, it's not. Okay, there you go. So now I can tell which way it's going, which is kind of cool. Could even take that a bit further if you wanted to. And make a little arrow. Center that. More things to waste time on. But whatever. probably change the color of that. Let's just make it be like red or something. Oh look, I can multi-select. Bet you guys didn't see that coming. That's the first time I've used multi-selection. Like, well, basically look, I had this and I wanted to make all, like they were just the same, they were gray. And I'm like, let me just select all three and assign a material to all of them.
Yeah. That's so nice.
That's really cool, because
I'm
used to just not doing that. Really?
Yeah, like I kind of miss the effects.
Yeah. Alright, so we got the guy, he's going around. So that's cool. Alright. Anyway, that was a bit useless, but I still wanted to do it. We should... Yeah, so what I kind of wanted to do was, I think it's important for us to start working on the mouse, basically. Because my idea was we need to be able to shoot, right? And to be able to shoot, I want to be able to click, and it's going to shoot in the direction that I'm aiming in. So it's a little bit difficult at the moment, because it's kind of like, I guess I want to be able to rotate with the mouse, just by like, yeah. And I guess what I want to also do though is, because it's going to be really hard to aim obviously just without anything, I actually want to draw like a debug. I just want to draw like a line that is kind of like the, you know, that's like the equivalent of a crosshair, because this isn't in like first or third person. So whatever way you point, you'll get like a line. It might be like a little faint. If it's a sniper rifle, it might be really, really long. If it's like a shotgun, it might be several lines up close. I don't know. Or maybe just like 3 lines or something cool like that. And then as you shoot, the line will probably animate a little bit, and it will probably also, because shooting is probably just going to be a raycast, so it will probably, I wanted to also make it, what do I want to make it do? I wanted it to, yeah, so once you fire a shot, you see the accuracy of it be like reflected in the line. So like if it's a low accurate, like if it's not an accurate weapon or whatever, then when you shoot, it might like, you know, animate like that or whatever, showing which way I guess the last shot went, to give you an idea of how it's working. So that's kind of the idea I had. So to do that, that should be relatively easy, I think. Like I should basically just be able to, let's bring this up. Let's probably get rid of that and this. And I'm gonna just dock that in. Let's get rid of that. So, I guess, yeah, player controller is what's on the player, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So the first thing I kind of wanted to do was in update, let's do a draw crosshair. And draw crosshair, like croissant. That's funny. So this is going to use the debug renderer, to be completely honest. Let's draw a line. Let's start at our translation. Let's go translation plus rotation. No, that's not gonna quite work, is it? I need to get the forward direction. How do I do that? Forward direction? No, I think it's I think actually no, I think it's just transform dot forward. No. Get component trans. It might be this. Our API needs a little bit of work. How do I get the forward? Transform.world, transform.forward. Okay. Make it like 10 meters. And you want a color. So let's make it like new vector 4100, and then we'll do like 0.7 or something. So I'll make it a little bit not quite fully opaque. Crashed. Alright. This is actually funny because yes, okay. I have not, like, this is my new renderer, and I actually just realized I did not test debug rendering, so it doesn't surprise me that this doesn't work. So let's see what happens. So pipeline, we'll have to do some graphics debugging now. Hopefully this isn't a long fix though. User set 0, but that set is not bound. Does it really use set 0? It shouldn't use set 0. Wait, that's a text. Render 2D text. That should not be trying to render text. Oh, it is text. No, text works. But I suspect that's just like some kind of bug. I think I just haven't tested. No, hang on. Well, first of all, line rendering definitely works though, because we use that for the physics collider debugging. So that at least works. So I don't know why that didn't work. We might have to actually debug that. Probably should have just debugged it. But render 2D text using set 0, like, is that real life? Because it shouldn't be. Oh, the font atlases. No, well that makes sense, yeah. But it shouldn't be using, you know what it is? It's probably, no, but that doesn't make sense because it wouldn't have worked for other places. I have a feeling it's trying to render lines using the text shader maybe, which is a bit weird. Aha, text pass, I was right. Fixed, hopefully. But how does that work? Because we use that not just for runtime line rendering, we should have used that for like the physics colliders, for example, like the box colliders to render the visualization for them. So it's very strange that it seems to have like worked for that, but then broke for this. Okay, well that worked. So you can see my line works. Pretty dope. And then yeah, I can make that like shorter. So this is like, you can see this is just 2 meters from the origin, which is here, of the entity. So yeah, I like the music. It's making me work quickly, which is good. Okay, so I have my crosshair. That was very easy. I didn't really expect it to not be easy, but there's my crosshair. Let's keep it at a distance of 4 for now. Now, of course, I don't want it to just move in one of 8 directions like this. I actually want it to be smooth, so we're going to have to, Peter even put together some code, I guess, from other projects to support controller support, to support controllers, which is good. All right, so let's see. I want to basically, we'll leave this as is for now. What I want to do is the camera. The camera, which is going to be based on the... So how's Peter put this together? Rotation direction 0 plus equals up plus get horizontal rotation, which... D-pad or analog stick, but that's like... Oh, but also rotation direction minus equals, yeah. So we probably just need to keep track of the mouse. I'm guessing. I should probably lock the mouse as well. And then maybe if we hit escape. But read my mind. Let's do input dot input set cursor mode. Normal. So we have a way to unlock it. So if get cursor mode, if that's, let's just say if that's normal, and we click, and we click the left mouse button. Then we want to lock it again. Okay, so just some mouse stuff. And we have last mouse position. So okay, so that should be fine, and then the mouse delta, which sensitivity. No, I was thinking that it might be too much. No, that's a vector 3. I jumped to another file. Did I close that file? Why on earth would I use Lua over C#? C# is a much better language for serious stuff. Alright. So this is probably just like Y, right? Well, this is going to be up times that, so I guess we can just do that. Mouse delta X, right? Okay, well that's done. It's just very sensitive, as predicted. Should we do a time step for that? Yes, I guess, right? Because otherwise, if we don't, then like it's going to do that more often. Yeah, there you go. So we can rotate it. It doesn't rotate the player, but you can see I can rotate it, and my mouse is locked, so I can just keep doing that, which is good. So that was pretty quick. Still does it if it's locked. So let's do private void mouse rotation. Pass in delta time. The reason why I'm doing this is because okay, well, we're doing rotation direction and we eventually do that. That's okay. I can just do, I'll just make this be a vector 3. And then for now, we'll just do like that, I guess. So we won't rotate with the arrow keys anymore. Let me just make sure that that works. Yep. And then I'll just do, we can probably still do that. Well, this might just be the cursor, but I guess if, the idea is if this doesn't equal locked, I'm just gonna return, or return 0, so that we basically only rotate when it's locked. That will just make it a little bit better for basically debugging. Doesn't really need to be there in the game, but yeah. Alright. Lua is a fine language. Like, I don't want to say it's a bad language. I'm not saying it's a bad language, but it is a bad language for like building a big game. It's good for like, it's a good scripting language, but like the thing is, it's not a full-on programming language like C#. Like, you can't compare C# and Lua. Like, it's, you know, it's crazy. But like, it's a fine language, and it's very, very fast, and it's lightweight, and it's very easy to like obviously just run in a boxed like environment and stuff. It's great, but it's not like good for full-on games. All right. So, what shall we do now? Cherno plays with the notifications on Discord. Yes, I want to get onto that. It's just this is like my third time or fourth time streaming on YouTube since I kind of came back to streaming on YouTube, so I haven't really had time to set that up. But that, yeah, I will do that. All right. So I guess I'd like to get the player to face that direction now, right? Because that way we could basically aim. So we should probably just, because the player at the moment will kind of set his own direction, like this look direction gets set, and update facing direction, which Peter spent a little bit of time on, unfortunately. So that just does set rotation and it looks at a particular direction. So we could kind of do that. So if we do this, basically, is that just gonna make that work? Whoa, very close. He's just like a little bit in the ground for some reason. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Oh, because the camera, no. It's because the camera's on an angle. That makes sense, yeah. So, well, the thing is, I don't know if we necessarily need this, like, to do it through quaternions and stuff, because we could obviously still do it that way, but like, at the end of the day, it's kind of just like, can't we just do rotation? I'm just gonna try something. Can't we just take just the Y from that? Yeah, we definitely can. Oh. No, okay, that's being all glitchy, I think. Oh, maybe we can't, actually. Maybe I should set that to avoid gimbal locks and stuff. But I just need to not actually do this as well. Probably. Yeah, see, that's annoying, because it will possibly not work at times. And that's wrong anyway, right? Or is that just an exact mirror? Because the thing is, like, the player... Here's Y at the moment. Y rotation. Yeah, it's a gimbal. It's a gimbal lock issue as well. Alright. Probably not a big deal, but let's still do it this way, I think. But what I can do... Yeah, what if I... Yeah. What if I just did this, actually? Maybe try to do that. The thing is, Peter also has some code on the rotation, like on the thing, which maybe screws it up a bit, but that's definitely not right. Maybe I'm not trying to do that, though. Maybe that was being weird because it was in there. I doubt it, though. Yeah, it's not. Where's the camera? So the camera rig's the thing that's moving, right? Yeah, and it's just the Y. Oh, but look, the camera rig. Actually, the rotation of the camera rig is always. It is just Y, because the camera is at a 45-degree angle, not the rig. So in that case, and the camera rotator's on the camera rig. Yeah, it is. So then why did that not work? Like, I should just be able to basically do that, like full on. Don't even need this or whatever. So that's really strange that that's not working. Okay, so now it is. Yeah, that's fine. That's set. I would still definitely make the camera not quite be that. So if this is the player's rotation, that's fine. But the camera's rotation should be different. And it is actually supposed to do something like this. I don't know if Peter's lerping is actually correct. I have a feeling it might That actually doesn't look bad. Plus delta time times 0.5. Rotation, target rotation. So but that doesn't look like that, does it? That looks like it kind of snaps instantly. Because I wanted to make it a bit delayed, the rotation of the camera. But it looks like this is happening way too quickly. So let me just log that, maybe. It's just 0 all the time. What? Is this always true? Does this ever happen? No. What? Rotation dot equals up. So the rotation is always set to that. How? Or is it because this is such a small number? Float epsilon. But that, nah, it can't be that small. What? So why is this always true? Because look, I've incremented that by something. Huh. Maybe let player rotation instead of camera. Yeah, that's a good, should probably do that as well, actually. I mean, that would work the same way. Like, as in I could do the same thing here. So we could do an ease in out, for example, from current rotation to target rotation as well, like that. But the thing is, again, that's never running because rotation is always equal to target rotation, basically. How, though? How is this always true? Wait, can I debug? I can, can't I? Peter promised me this would work, so... Yeah, it is working. Okay, yeah, but that doesn't, like... That's... Obviously, it's not rotating at the moment. It's gonna be hard to... I don't think debugging is a good idea, because I don't think it's gonna... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. So now it's not rotating the player, but that's, again, that's because they're equal. Bro, what's up? I don't know why these two are equal, considering I'm obviously incrementing it. Again, unless this is just such a small thing. It's not, though. It's like up to... It goes up to like 1. What the heck? How is this always true? There's got to be a bug in this code or something. What does this do? So x equal is x if x is greater than or equal to other.x minus epsilon. Bro, they're all the same. Peter. Hey Tim, come look at Peter's equals epsilon code. Takes in a vector 3, checks to see if the x is equal, if the y is equal, and if the z is equal. And if they're all equal, it returns true because you're kind of comparing them. Right. See any problems with this code?
Where's this x coming from? Oh, it's all x.
Yeah.
It's all x, yeah.
Amazing. So the reason why that was working before is because the x-axis wasn't the one being changed. It's the rotation rotates the y, and because the x is obviously always equal, it was returning true. So that's I'm gonna need you guys to shame Peter a little bit when he comes back, because that is just like that's a rookie error. Like, I don't remember how many years ago it was when I did something as blatant as that. That's like, get taught that in primary school. Overworking. Hey, okay, so now this is garbage, but at least it works, kind of. So now this code will actually probably run. So let's see what Peter's camera was supposed to look like. Yeah, so this, I guess, is a bit smoother, maybe. Still kind of doesn't... Okay, well, we're definitely in this branch now because it's printing stuff. Oh, actually, is it? Yeah, we're definitely in there now because it's being printed. Now this is probably a little bit. Wait, divided by 0.5, so it's actually making it faster. Let's make it slower. I think it's too fast. Yeah, so there you go. Now you get your little, like, this is way too laggy. Oh, but that's also not really correct. We basically kind of do, like, I don't know where Tim finished up on that, but he was adding tests for math, so we did want to do that. I just don't think it's done yet, that's all. But yes, it's important. Alright. So let's see. So that's obviously not, like, I definitely don't want to do that. I also think that, like, I don't know if this should be reset to 0.5 necessarily. I feel like you want to almost start it at 0.5 because you want it to, like, snap, I guess, immediately. And then it probably should just be like an ease out, not an easy in out. That'll probably feel better. That might be too quick. Maybe if because I started at 0.5. Oh, no, hang on, sorry. No, that is what I wanted to do. Right? Well, that just feels normal, actually. Don't know why. Because the reason why is because if you keep moving the camera, it doesn't reset. It only resets if you completely stop. So that's a little bit annoying, to be honest. Because it doesn't reset the timer, which means that if you keep moving it a little bit, the way Peter's written it is if you keep moving it a little bit, it won't do the animation. So I don't really think that this should necessarily happen. I think it's kind of like every time you move the camera, if it's not 0, it probably should just reset this, maybe. But that will also make it jump. Right? So, like, this is almost like when it might be nice to just set, like, even though that's not a good way to do it, you could kind of set a target here. That's a bit weird, isn't it? So it's always going to be halfway between these, but that doesn't feel like it's doing what it says it's doing. This is the lame way to do interpolations, but maybe it's just too quick. Yeah, okay. So this is called, I call this the asymptote lerp, because what you're doing is you're basically being like, instead of animating a graph from 0 to 1, which is kind of like how you should use the interpolation functions, you're basically being like, you know what, all the time, if this is like, this is my B, and then this is like my A, where I'm currently am, I'm always going to take, you know, 30% of it. So that means that you're going to be like, all right, the first frame, I'm setting it to this. So now the graph next frame starts from here, right? So now you're here, and then you take 30% of that. And so you jump up to here. And so you can see kind of what you're doing. As time goes on, it's like you're getting, this is time. You're getting like less and less because you're 30% of like this now. And you'll never get there because it's an asymptote basically. But, which sucks because you'll never reach it. It's not really correct. So technically what I like to do is not do that. I like to just use, you know, an actual animation of 0 to 1. But the only downside is that if you do always drag it, the only upside of this is that if you do always drag it along like that, it means that if you suddenly change direction, it's going to be smooth and you don't have to do anything fancy to get that to happen. So I don't know like if I'll realistically keep that, but because again, if you want to see the downside, then you'll just see like if I do log 1 rotation, so if I actually display the rotation, actually, you know what, why are we, this logging thing is, it's fine, but let's actually use a text component because that will just be a little bit easier. So if I just make a text component, let's do like 90 or minus 90. And I'll drag it up a little bit, put it maybe behind the player. Maybe I'll scale it down a little bit. And the reason why I've done this is because now we can just print debug stuff to that. I could have done it for to the viewport as well, but it's kind of nice when it's on the player, I think. I'll call this debug text. Alright, whatever. What does that look like? Yeah, so if I just do find entity by tag, debug text.get component. Oh, this is a bit slow, but it doesn't matter. Text component dot text equals string dot format. Actually, can we just do vector3 to string? Yeah, we can. Rotation to string. Using a semicolon. Okay, so you can see as I move this, you can see, and it's not printing all the decimal points, but you can see, I mean, that's not too bad, but you can see how long it takes to stop. That's not, I guess that's not too bad. If you make it even longer though, I guess that'll take longer. I don't know, I think that's quite showing it. Yeah, that's alright. That's actually not too bad. Okay, so now let's make it rotate with the player. Wait, why is the player not rotating? Oh, that's just the camera, that's why. We could actually offset the player, like make the player a little bit... So that's the camera. We can make the camera a bit quicker and the player a bit slower. You blistering buffoon. Why? Why don't you just be normal? Isn't that weird that it's not normal? Why is it rotating on? Yeah, it's fighting with the gimp. Like it's fighting with like converting it to a matrix or whatever. I wonder why though, because like the camera's not, right? So why is the camera fine with that? I'm just setting the rotation to that. That really shouldn't be doing what it's doing. Is it because this is like very slightly... Like if I make this 0.01 or whatever... No, that's still gonna be broken. I don't actually know if that worked though. Maybe there's some weird problem. No. Yeah, that's super weird. Because all I'm doing is... Oh, but I guess I'm not quite incrementing it. Target rotation plus equals mouse rotation. Yeah, that's strange. It's just weird because it's clearly working for the camera, but not for the player. What if I just set, like, player rotation to rotation? I mean, that definitely should work, I guess, but it's weird because it just looks like it's a conversion thing. But see, that's what I didn't want to do, because now it's, like, not lagging behind. And also it's going the wrong way, I think. Yeah, that's better. You can actually see by the crosshair, by like how I'm aiming, you can kind of see how it's going the wrong way. Oh, my particles aren't working. Weird. But I do wonder why this doesn't work. Like, why does that get all weird? And it starts fighting with the axes. So it's got to be doing some kind of conversion. I mean, that's just like, again, this is just a vec3. Like, what it looks like is it's converting it to a matrix and then back again. But I don't know why it would ever be converting it back again. Oh, because it's a physics rigid body. Ah. Is it? It's not. Oh, it gets a rigid body? Yeah, it gets a rigid body because it has a box collider. It's just like an implicit rigid body, and apparently that means that it goes through that process, which basically breaks it. So that really sucks. Yeah, it's because it's a physics object. What if I make it a trigger? No, still same thing. That's super annoying. But if it's a static rigid body, I mean, in all seriousness, though, it probably shouldn't be a static rigid body. Like, I wonder if we make it a dynamic rigid body. So that's probably going to make this not work, right? No, still, the movement still works. Even if it is a dynamic rigid body, strangely enough. Put it on the entities layer. Let's not do that for a second. I just want to see the movement. The movement's still fine. I wonder if we go through the effort of getting the rigid body maybe component, can we set the rotation on that? Like, would that be better? No. Yeah, it's because it's doing a conversion. It's nothing to do with quaternions here. It's because it's doing it's converting the XYZ rotation to a matrix and then back again. And then it doesn't know because there's multiple solutions. That's why. I think we should just handle that though. If there are multiple solutions, just go with one consistently. If that's possible, go with like for example, the smaller one. Maybe I should try that. Like, what does that? Something physics transform, synchronized body transform. So translation from jolt vector and set rotation from jolt quaternion. So it might be this as well. So what does this do? That, and then set rotation from a quaternion will do this. I guess that's why. Well, it tells a rotation as well, but it does this. This is strange though that this is happening, because, like, again, say hello to Uzbekistan, please. Hello, Uzbekistan. Oh, why are you yelling at me though? Make a kinematic rigid body. No, that's not. I mean, that would make it better, but that's not the reason why it's not working. Like, as in, I'd rather come up with something else. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know why, to be completely honest, because this is. What's up, Brainblade? I don't know why, because we don't like. This isn't really. Like, it does use quaternions internally, so I don't know why it's acting like it doesn't. Because it definitely is acting like it doesn't right now. So I feel like there's maybe some part in the code. I mean, that's gotta be the synchronized body transform that we saw though, right? Like, that's gotta be this. Oh, but look, that's not being called. So it's not here. I thought it was this. But are we calling set rotation? Bro, we are not. Are you serious? Then what is doing that? I may have found a bug. Script glue. Something rotation. Set or desk rigid body 2D. There's set rotation. Get rigid body, act as set rotation. Quaternion. Oh, well, that, I guess that converts vector 3. Oh, that might be why. Wait, okay. If that really is the case then, though, then why don't I just, yeah, do what I was doing before maybe, and just do set rotation using a quaternion, and then I can just do basically what Peter was doing. Because maybe that will work. Like, if I set that to just, let's get rid of this. But then I need to do like a slurp, probably. But whatever, let's not interpolate it yet. Let's just set it to target rotation. And sorry, this is player set rotation. But see that, oh, okay. So that kind of worked, it's just that it's on an angle now. Which, yeah, is super weird though. The reason, like, why is it on an angle? Because, is this me? I'm sinking, but also I'm at 90 degrees X rotation. What? Oh, wait. But also, I'm not actually rotating. What? Player.set rotation to target rotation, and I'm not rotating. Should I do forward? Maybe I need to do forward. No. Right. That's very weird. I mean, I kind of like up seems reasonable, but it's not. It's weird, isn't it? Oh, hold on. Oh, vector 3 forward and up. So, oh, but that's not forward, is it? That's my up. That's why. I think because I'm actually trying to make, no, wait, that doesn't make sense either, does it? What? No, up is always up, and then that, but that, I just don't know if that necessarily represents my forward direction. Because what that is 0, 1, oh. Yeah, it's not really going to, is it? So what did Peter do here? Yeah, because that's look direction. So where did he... Yeah, and that actually is a forward direction. Right, but that's an angle. So if I did... So I kind of need to rotate. Damn, that's a bit annoying. So I need to basically take... How do you do that, man? I need to take the forward vector and I need to rotate it by the rotation. So in a way it's like I need the rotation matrix and I can multiply with it, but is there a simple way to do that? It sounds like way more simple than it really should be. I mean, I can use trig for it, I guess. I think it's just, sine of target rotation y. Zero for that, obviously, and then cosine of target rotation dot y. I think that might be correct. Yep. Dunsies. God, that was so difficult for absolutely no reason. It's because I suck, is why. Alright, so. I think I'm getting closer to a Tim Tam. As soon as I deserve one. Alright, so. But in the good in other news, Hazel hasn't really crashed. It crashed like once, didn't it? Oh yeah, because the text rendering, that was a bug in the renderer. That took me luckily like a minute to fix, but yeah. Okay. So now we have this kind of slightly laggy camera. We have this kind of slightly laggy camera, which is kind of cool. Now the player moving weirdly that's on Peter, and I don't know why we're syncing either. That's a bit weird. Let's go to the player controller. Honestly, why are we syncing? I did, maybe I removed some stuff? Yeah, because I've got a dynamic rigid body now. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so there we go. Now we're good. Now, yeah, it does seem like... See, the debug rendering, I don't like that the player pops like that, though. Why is the player doing that? like it's not just the line rendering that's weird, it's the I can just leave that off for now. I guess the reason why is just because of... Maybe we should do a late update function that can go... Because the problem is you move the player and then you want to set the camera late. But I don't think we have that. No, I mean there is a physics which happens later, isn't there? On physics update? When does that happen? Physics scene pre-simulate. And when does that happen? In Jolt simulate. That's actually before an update, okay. Well, if we could do... I mean, technically, if we could do... Like, if I change this to be... I don't really want to do this, but... Let's just see what happens if I do this. Then I can't move anymore. That's upsetting. Now I can move, but it's not like the camera... But that seems weird, isn't it? No, it's because it's... Yeah, I don't like the way the camera is. I also kind of think that there's not enough tilt to the camera. It's 45 degrees. I think it should be like 60. See as well behind you. 510. Is that better? Probably a little too close. Six maybe. No, I don't really like that. I think it would be better to see more. Maybe 45 was fine. That's kind of a cool perspective, actually. I'll keep that. Stupid camera. Just built a new PC to run Hazel. That's funny. And a little unfortunate. That like as in that it requires that. Okay, so yeah, how do I get the camera to be better? I mean, I think it's because of the update order. That's what I'm thinking. So like, I don't know, technically speaking, like we could introduce an entirely new C# function called late update, which I would like to have, which happens after all the other entity updates. So if you need to do something right before rendering after physics has been simulated and transforms have been moved, you can do that. That might be better. So that would happen like yeah, so that's audio stuff. Yeah, so see we do on update here. So we could kind of do the same thing, but after that, there is a post update queue that submits things, but that's different. Yeah, and then we could do a late update or whatever after this basically. That would probably fix it, and it's probably worth doing that. Because otherwise, like either that or we control entity update order, which isn't great. Let me maybe add that, to be honest, because I feel like we should have that regardless, and so it's probably nice to have that. Post update queue. No, that should happen later. It should really be as simple as that, I think. Like, that actually should be it. Because if it doesn't exist, it doesn't call it, I think. Like, it doesn't have to exist. But it will anyway, because I'm going to add it to MTC. So that actually might have just been it. I think that's as easy as it is to add a custom function. Possibly. Like, I don't know. Oh, and I guess we can have a little thing for it as well. So, okay, so the reason why I did this is because now, let's build that, I can go into my camera and be like, so there's like, the camera needs to be set to whatever the player ends up being right before we render, kind of. And in fact, all of this should probably be there. So if we just change this to on late update, that should probably work. Could call it post update, I don't know, whatever. Oh, it finished. No, it didn't. Whoa, disk space available 3.3 gig. Oh, but now it's back up to like 9 and 10 gig. I guess because compiling. I should freeze some stuff though. Shouldn't I? Nah. Yep. Oh, wait. No, that's still the same problem. What? Why? How? How/why? Oh, did I rebuild this? I did. But we're doing it on late update now, so it's definitely happening afterwards. Oh, but we're setting the play. No, we're setting the player rotation. And if follows player, which that's going to be true, it's setting the translation to player translation here. So how is that possible then? That doesn't make any sense. What? That actually does not make any sense. Look at that movement, that's so weird. I don't know how Peter's made this movement. Let me read it a bit more, because that is super weird. Well, there's a target translation. Oh, because it's doing some weird interpolation stuff as well. Let's just not do this, and let's instead do like what we kind of did before. I don't know if we need to interpolate the movement like that though. But yeah, because that still kind of does that, doesn't it? And that's still like, you know, it's like it's still updating the camera somehow before. So that doesn't make any sense. Wait, am I a buffoon? I am a buffoon. Ugh, I knew it. It's because I don't even know how this works. It shouldn't work probably. Because this, I only did this for the runtime. This is not done for the editor. How did I... But then, why did it even work? Because it shouldn't have called my camera code at all. So that's very suspicious. Like, this stuff in camera rotator should not have been called. But clearly it's being called. Like, how? That's very, very weird. Because we have a different function for updating the editor. Oh, sorry. I guess it's... Wait, what? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't buffooned it. I think this probably gets called by... on the editor as well then, right? Where does this get called? Oh, that's... Yeah, runtime is in... Yeah, no, that does luckily go through the same function. That's fine. So it is calling it, obviously, yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't be there. But how... But yeah, there's no way that it's... like... So if we do like... So we read the player translation here, right? So let's do camera translation equals... And let's do this in player as well. This is bizarre. Not closed table. pause. So let's see what happens here. So camera translation. Okay, well I should have made this say player translation. So yeah, the first one here is clearly the player translation, and then the camera translation. So the order is correct, as we've kind of determined. But what's weird is that... So let's move a little. This is going to be hard to debug. This doesn't make any sense, man. Yeah, this is not easy to debug. But no, but actually, it looks like the camera's ahead of the player, though. Yeah, the camera's ahead of the player. What? How can the camera be ahead of the player? What? What? This is so strange. The player's translation just gets set to this, basically. Which is pretty standard. That all comes from on update. So... and this doesn't matter. So, but what looks like is happening is I'm moving and the player, like the camera for one frame is basically one frame. Oh, hello. Hello, cube. The player is one frame. The camera is one frame ahead of the player. That's what's happening. But I just don't get how that would be possible. Because... like, it gets submitted for rendering later, and... it doesn't... yeah, so in this case it doesn't matter then. I guess. Well, but either way, the player's translation gets updated first. And then we tell the camera to set its translation to the player's translation. So they should be equal by the time it gets set to rendering. By the time it gets sent, yeah, to be rendered. But they're not. The camera sent... how can the camera be ahead of the player, though? I get the player being ahead of the camera. But the camera being ahead of the player? And I mean, we're just setting, like, for the camera, it's not like we're doing any weird interpolation stuff, right? Like, we are just setting translation equals player translation. Oh, is it again because the player is a physics object and maybe the translation hasn't been consolidated yet? But again, it's the camera's ahead. The camera's the one ahead. But let's just try this. Get component. Rigid body component dot translation. Like, what if we do that? Is that gonna make any difference? No. Yeah, I know I should probably move on, but this is really bugging me. It kind of ruins everything. I feel like there should be some, to be honest, there should be a little bit of pitch. Like just a touch. right? Because I think we're actually storing that, right? Would it be hard to add a bit of pitch? Maybe, maybe not. So what is this? So let's do vector 3 right times this. So that maybe will just straight up work. Yeah. And now we can fly. Wonderful. That kind of does work, but I do want to set a limit. So basically, with this, I kind of want to make sure that pitch is clamped between, like, I don't even know what this should be, to be honest. I guess I can just do that, maybe. Oh, no, you can't do that here. I can't do this here. Because this is the delta. Can't climb the delta. Clamp is, we've got clamp for vec3s, right, surely. Oh, or it's vector3.clamp. Target rotation between, well, the thing is it's just for pitch that I want to control it. So maybe like between -30 and -60 or something. Sorry, what am I doing? Yeah, that's between that, and then this we don't care about at all. Oh, well then why am I doing the whole thing, to be honest? Let's do... I think that's what I want. Yep, that's what I want. Thought I was right, but I don't think I am. Where's the camera? Oh, camera rig is the thing being... Oh, that does seem to work alright though. Oh, it's positive. Why did I think it was negative? So positive 30 and positive 60, I guess. Wait. Not 0. Oh, because the camera's at an angle. I don't... The thing is, pitch was just camera, not camera rig. So maybe I should keep it like that. And actually, if we look at it, camera, yeah, it was -45. And I guess like 2. Oh, but no, we can't, because otherwise, yeah. Alright, so let's do give or take 15 degrees then. That'll probably be alright. So if I do that, basically -15 to +15, like, will that be better? No. That's not actually clamping though. Why are you not clamping, man? Does clamp not work with negative values? Should? Yeah, it's just that. What? Ah, is this in... No, it shouldn't be. Yeah, why is that not working? Oh, it is. It's in, it's not in degrees. Yeah, I need to fix that, but I guess that's not bad. It's a bit annoying to have just this level there, isn't it? Okay, now can we keep the guy on the ground though, man? So he just goes in look direction. So, but why? But he should never be going up. But what's look direction? Forward times... Oh, because he gets this, that's why. Can I just do this? No, unfortunately. Why can I not do that? Ah, because something... Ah, because I'm doing it in the wrong place. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if this is kind of more frustrating or not, though. Because it's kind of like you're not letting the player see much at all. You can kind of have a bit more of a top-down view, but... I don't know. I feel like it might be better to just be one angle rather than have this like little degree of freedom that makes you frustrated. Although maybe it's just because it's not enough freedom, but I don't want to give too much freedom because then we'll need an entirely different rendering strategy to make sure that we can render the horizon properly. But it would be kind of cool to have that. I also think the sensitivity, I mean, it's just too much at this point. Where am I? Camera, I guess. Where's my sensitivity? And that's still pretty quick. This is more like CSGO. Too slow. I'm like it'll be configurable, but yeah. Okay, well I might leave it like this for now, just because I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, we are gonna have to fix this blackness, and yeah. All right. Okay, so I did want to implement some sort of like shooting or whatever, and enemies. So I guess we'll do that now. Yeah, the iteration time of Hazel is great. Like the fact that you can just switch like from this, do something, switch back, no problem. Like it's, yeah, that's one of the best features for sure. Now my, I wish I could, when I'm in this camera, it'd be nice if it didn't move the player. I can just do that, right? I can say if the right mouse button is clicked, I might remove that later, but if the right mouse button is clicked, maybe don't move the player. So now if I'm in, yeah, so see, it's not going to move the player if I'm here. In this editor camera, which if I, well, it is if I just do that, but if I hold right mouse button to move the camera, it's not going to move the player. So it's nice because it lets me get like close and personal to it. But otherwise, that's the game camera. Okay. It's funny because this guy actually is controlled by me as well. This is the original player. Off you go. They're like Rocket League or something. Alright, so enemies and stuff. Sure, let's add that. Let's duplicate the player. Let's call him enemy, and we are good. We'll change the script as well, and let's make him red maybe. I can make this like orange or something, blue, so we can tell. But this is what our enemy will look like. This is reminding me of like Among Us or something, to be honest. It's just missing the dome, the capsule thing. We could make him a capsule. Well, whatever, we'll keep them boxes for now. So let's make a prefab out of that, right? Enemies. Alright, done. So now enemies are prefab. See? Yeah, kind of sus. So we should probably spawn them. Level generator, maybe. I don't know. Level generator. Let's maybe make another entity called underscore enemy spawner or enemy manager. Let's. Might actually just copy this. Okay. And now we add a script, and the script is enemy manager. Enemy is yoink. Okay, so now we can spawn enemies. They don't do anything, obviously. Private list and entity. Active enemies. Music, where are you? I was enjoying you. Let's do more of you. What's up, guys? I'm not bad. A little bit busy, but yeah. Making a game really quickly, you know, like, no big deal. I was just talking about Tim Tams. I don't think I've quite deserved one yet, but I'm on my way. Alright, so active enemies. Let's spawn in a bunch. Well, actually, we could probably just like next enemy timer. I always call it TS. If next enemy timer less than 0. Sure. This is, yeah, just for kind of debugging. Spawn enemy. I guess it'd be nice to get the player's location as well. Because then we can kind of do it around the player, right? So we could be like, translation So the player's translation, and if I kind of just basically if I do plus equals, or rather plus new vector 3, and then we'll just do a random, so within like 10 meters, or within a 5 meter radius, same height, same like location, same altitude. I don't know why my font's so big, just for you guys. Instantiate enemy translation. Right. I guess. Is that really it? I mean, I kind of want to... Wait, do I even need an enemy? Yeah, well, this is like a spawner for him. I don't know if I need to necessarily add into this list, because the thing is, if they get destroyed, I'm gonna have to manage that. So I don't know. We'll see if I actually need that, because that way I could recall all of them and order them all to kind of flock and do stuff. But like, I don't know if that's necessary. We'll see. Okay, so at the moment we're just gonna spawn enemies. They don't really do much. Let's copy and paste enemy manager. Call it enemy. Yes. So now we have enemy. I don't know why this is... Oh, so... How do I manage that? I must have renamed something else. Okay, that doesn't matter. Fixed. Okay, so enemy. Oh, right, and he already has enemy. That's fine. I guess player would be good to have. And then we basically just need you to vector 3. Thanks Mikhail Ilinov for the donation. Appreciate the support. How's it going? Going good. Got a nice game idea. Just need to, you know, get through all the work. And Tim, by the way, is making the art. If you guys go to studiocherno.com, you'll see all of our streams on one page. Peter's sleeping though at the moment, so it's just me and him. Alright, so let's see. I don't know if I necessarily need a slab. What did I do for this guy though? Set for this plutonium looper. Yeah, I could just do this, I think. But I guess I did want to slurp because I wanted it to kind of turn around. But let's just do the non-slurping version first because it's easier to see if it works. Let me just actually add the script though, because we need the script here to be... Can't find it. We already have a script. We do. Oh, the enemy is actually player controller. That's funny. Enemy. And player is player. Update. Do I see them here? I really should add these guys to a level entity, because otherwise they're all just here. No, enemies don't seem to be spawning in. I don't see them here, right? What are they supposed to be called? Enemy manager, why are you not? Oh, players null. Oh, there's a C# exception. Yeah, because players null. So let's set player for this guy. Otherwise, I don't know where to spawn. They might spawn off the world or whatever. Oh, also, they're not really physics bodies at the moment, are they? Are they spawning in? Doesn't look like it. No, they're not. Why? Oh, pff. That's funny. That's like adding code into an assert or something that you actually want to happen. Okay, here they are. Now they're not really. Oh, they are. They're just. I did it the wrong way. I had a feeling I did it the wrong way. Okay, so now they should all be scarily looking at me. Here they are. Guys, stop looking at me. You're freaking me out. Okay, so let's quickly slap them. Get the rotation, current rotation is a quaternion. How did I do slurping in fragile? There has to be a way to get it's probably. Let's set rotation on the transform component. How do I get the rotation as a quaternion? Had to have done that, surely. I want to see how I did slurping in fragile, but that, like, where the heck is that? No, it is on good. Peter, thanks. Because missiles did some slurping. Oh, you just do new quaternion rotation. Okay, yeah. So new quaternion. It's funny. Good thing I did that in that project. I forget things, you know. And then we set rotation to that. A little bit more performance intensive, but maybe better. I mean, that might be too quick. Yeah, so see, there's a little bit of a delay now, which is kind of cool. If I do that, I mean, it's still kind of quick, but a little bit more lifelike. Now I just need them to kind of move closer to me, I guess. But I don't know, I'd want them to kind of keep their distance because they're going to shoot me, right? So therefore, I don't know. Let's maybe not spawn as many enemies as quickly. So let's do like at least 3 seconds between enemies, and then let's make them be so basically translation plus equals 2 player. Well, no, because that's not going to scale well. If we just do, oh well, I guess we should normalize this. I don't even know if that's a thing. Void to vector. Oh, right, okay. No, actually, normalized. Yeah. Yeah. So now that's fine. So if we just, that's gonna be too quick. Oh man, this is gonna be scary. If it works, maybe it doesn't. Oh, because they don't know when they reach the player. I actually don't know if this is too. This is, yeah, this is away from player. It's just, it needs to be that for the rotation. Right? So if I make this what I, yeah, because that's the head of the vector, the first one. So I think maybe we just do -2 player here, but then this is this. If we hit play. Yeah, oh my gosh. Go away. Look at this. Oh man. Luckily I'm quicker than them, but like... Oh, and of course they don't flock. Yeah, flocking would be good. Because they're on top. Oh, well actually, maybe we don't need that. Maybe we just give them collision. Because at the moment I don't think they collide with each other. I don't know why they don't. They don't, yeah. Well, they do have a box collider though. They probably should. Maybe it's just because they're not being, their translation's being set. And it's bypassing the physics engine. Is that really analyzed? Because I feel like it should be. Or maybe I should just set it to dynamic. I mean, they probably should be dynamic anyway, but let's see if this makes any difference. Like, as in if they'll bump into each other or not. They're bumping into me, so yeah, they should probably bump into each other. Let's see if I can make them crash. Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Oh, and actually, man, like, if I give them a bigger... Like, if I want them to keep some space, I could just give them a bigger collider, right? Let me just show physics colliders for all entities. If I just do... Yeah, even these have box colliders. That's a bit of a waste. But anyway, if I just make this a little bit bigger... Like, as in just in these two axes, maybe. Then they'll be a little bit... They'll keep more distance between themselves. And between me, I guess. Yeah, so that's the aiming thing, and then you can see we have some enemies, in which case, like in this case, they're just chasing us, but they're kind of fun. And I got the camera.
For the physics colliders, Peter said it would be more efficient with the combination colliders.
Oh, really?
You have overlapping box colliders and this.
How are box colliders slower than mesh colliders? Okay. But this is a bit annoying because see how I'm using box colliders so they have their distance.
No, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
there's a lot of them overlap.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's begin. Okay. Yep. I'll take a look at them probably later. Try adding mesh colliders to each of these. Does Hazel have network multiplayer yet? No, not yet. Can you lower the volume of the music a bit? Yes. Is this better? I think my mic is a bit... No, it's not bad. If I'm close to it, it's okay. Alright, So yeah, so the shooting mechanic, I guess. Alright. Let's make that happen. And that's good because we can have those blood particles work as well, maybe. Okay, so player. Alright, so click to shoot, of course. So let's do update shooting. I don't know, I guess we want delta time for things like cooldowns. Alright, so if input dot mouse button down, I guess, left, we can do, so we kind of need to do like a physics ray cast, I guess, cast ray. Origin, direction, max distance, that kind of stuff, alright. Direction is this direction. I mean, draw crosshair kind of does that. Maybe we can actually cache some of that so that we're not quite, you know, like doing this too many times, but so origin's going to be that by the direction. Direction's just going to be forward. That might be dependent on the gun, but let's just do 10 for now. And we'll probably, the direction will shake up a bit to simulate accuracy. Cast ray, data, and then out, scene query, hit. If hit dot, how do we know if it hit something? Is the entity just going to be not null or something? Like that? Can I do that? Let's try this. I've got the one there, yeah. Okay, well that worked. That was very quick. Alright, well we can actually just be like, why don't we destroy the entity? Hit.entity.destroy. Lol, get wrecked. Now I can shoot you. Boom. I'm deliberately missing. Don't think so. Alright, cool. That works. That's easy. Now instead of destroying them, let's push them back a bit. So hit.entity.get component rigid body component dot add force force mode impulse, and we're going to do it in the direction it was shot in, which is direction. We're going to do a random amount of force, I guess. Again, depending on the gun. If it's a shotgun, it'll be a lot more, I guess, but less range. Float. And we'll do float times. So let's set a baseline of like 1, and then that might not be enough. And then times like 5 or something. So there's our little random force. Yeah, goodbye. Well, okay, so that's clearly not enough force. I want you to... Why is it? It feels a bit weird, doesn't it? Oh, and the max distance is 10 as well. And that's probably too much force. Yeah, they're like, look at that. It's like they get faster or something. Because the thing is that they don't, like, when they get shot, they don't like stop trying to get to you. But also, why does it feel like the gravity is just... Oh, no, that shouldn't be it. Because I was gonna say it might have something to do with their movement. Well, yeah, because for one, this is actually... I don't know if we should probably add this movement as a force, but also I don't think we're allowed to. We shouldn't be controlling Y, I guess. So, like 2-player should maybe be X0, 2-player Z or something. I don't know. Because I think if we control Y, it might override them falling. I'm probably wrong. Yeah, that doesn't look... Like, look at that. Why are you like that? Do they have like some mass? Can we just make them like... What if we make them heavier? But then they're gonna not get pushed back as much, are they? Yeah, like I can't really push them back. I can keep firing at them. But that doesn't really seem to work quite like I wanted it to. Linear drag angle, disable gravity. Don't know. Could make it... I mean, it's a gun. Like, the force is pretty high, isn't it? It's probably too much. Why do they suddenly... Oh, I guess they... Yeah, it's because the ground is, like, not really... They should probably... Yeah, it's tough because... I think what happens is they hit the ground. I feel like these tiles might even be better, because I don't know if the tiles will remain flat, because I guess that's a bit boring, isn't it? But I guess there will always be a ground though. Like, I don't think we'll do slopes. Because I was gonna say, what? You don't have a crash counter. I think Hazel crashed for me once since I started streaming. This second time around. And I've been live for what, like 2 hours? 3 hours. Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, whoa, I got 0 megas of disk space, apparently. No. Delete something quickly. It's good because OBS tells me how much disk space I have left. It's mostly just like downloads of Dichotomy. And Forest on this account. Yeah. I just freed up about a gig just deleting like downloads of Dichotomy and stuff. Yeah, so we went with a coffee idea. Anyway, what I was going to say was that what we probably should do is the clusters of, like, we definitely shouldn't have a collider on each one of these hexagons, especially a mesh collider like that. It should just be go away. It should just be what are they called? Like, we should just have a plane, like, basically over this entire surface that, you know, is your collider. And that would kind of solve some of these issues. But yeah. Yeah, that kind of sucks. It's because it hits like the edge of the hexagon. It's pretty cool though. Now, obviously there's no feedback when you shoot, which kind of means it sucks. But let's spawn some particles because that's always fun. So, particle system dot spawn impact. Now we need the actual particle, but translation. So I guess I mean, if the entities are the same size, like we can just do hit.entity.translation, and then we could like basically be like plus like the direction. But so that's a unit vector. Might need, yeah, which yeah, maybe should be like times 0.5. But that should be okay. And then the direction is going to be the direction. Impulse force, let's just say 20, or 10, that might be too much. Life 5, count 20, but we will probably make it random. And then we just need the particle, which we had in player, didn't we? Or dummy, in our dummy class. That's not going to compile. We need to compile so that we can go into our player and grab that blood particle, and then we can bring it back. No, that didn't compile. All right. Okay. Look at all that blood. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's very frictionless. And yeah, I'll make it so that it doesn't have edge outlines. But yeah, now they can bleed. That's way too much force though. Why does it blows back so much? That's the impulse force, right? Yeah. And I guess it's also the fact that it's so, like, it should be pretty frictiony, I think. Blood, because it's blood, like it's a liquid. So it should just stick to surfaces basically immediately. So if we go into our blood particle, which we actually already have one of those in the scene, but if we change the, well, the restitution should be like 0 and the friction should be like 1 or something. Let's just go full on update. That's not, I guess that's not bad. Oh, I can shoot 2 enemies at once, maybe. Now, what we could do for fun is we could just not, like, let's just try not compositing the outline. I'm just curious, like, I mean, that's gonna be for everything, and one of the things that I really need to do is obviously make it so that this, this outline effect stays, like, for certain things, but not for others. But if I just go into the scene renderer, so we can reload shaders, and I go to the scene composite shader, one thing we could do is just not composite the outline. So if I just do if false, I think that's 0 meg again. It's because Visual Studio compiles stuff. Man, my computer's probably going to crash with 0 meg. I probably can't even build this, can it? Wait, why am I debugging this? Oh, that's Hazel. Yeah, okay, so that's, oh, that looks kind of cool. What if we don't have outlines? I mean, no, I think I like outlines, but it does look kind of cool without outlines. So this is without outlines. I just want to see what the blood looks like. I mean, it's not kind of like, it doesn't really look like blood. So there's all my enemies. Oh, the performance. Too many entities. Just keep spawning, because each one of these is an actual entity and a physics body, which is not great for performance. What do you guys think about the lack of outline thing. Okay, I really need to free up some disk space though. Jokes aside. I need to free up some disk space. Yeah, I'm sure I could just go through like so many things and just delete. Like, how big is this? 4 gig of intermediates. Just in one of my Hazel branches. Just go through like all of them. Okay, I've already freed up 15 gig. I'm not even done yet. Wow, people saying it's better without outlines. Different edge shader or not at all? Huh? Tim,
Yeah.
come here. You're the art person. So, I turned outlines off and people kind of liked it more without outlines. So this is with outlines on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the particles look like garbage, but I would turn it off for them as well, right? And then, sorry, I just meant to save that. Yeah, that's without outlines.
It looks a bit more pastel.
What do you think?
I think it's a bit hard to tell without texture assets.
Yeah. Because the thing is, you kind of maintain the outline here anyway, because these are physically, no, well, yes, but also because they're physically apart.
Yeah.
So, you do get the AO, I guess, inside there, and I guess that, and the shadows, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like it's partially outlined, but then, you know, these guys look a bit different. So I don't know, maybe it is kind of cool without outlines, to be honest.
Yeah, because it kind of has a.
Someone says I like the outlines. Yeah, I mean, whoa, man, you are too keen. Get off me. Like, what are you doing? Get away. All right. I'm probably spawning too many particles. Let's not get too crazy. And I guess what we should do is we should also be like, hey, hit entity dot as enemy to get its script, and then like take damage, you know, 50 on, let's just say 30. That's obviously not well. Now enemy. So let's do public void take damage. Int damage maybe. Int health. Stop trying to print everything. Private int health. I guess we should do it not here. Okay, so now we can destroy them. We do have a max, like, range or whatever. Oh, we should do a little muzzle flash, right? I mean, we don't have a gun at the moment, which kind of sucks, but let's do something like, let's add a gun for the player. So if I duplicate this guy, and I call it gun. So Tim's gonna make some guns, I think, at some point.
How many do you want?
Yeah, sure. Handgun, maybe. Yeah. Looks like a full-on rocket launcher. That's the gun, guys, okay? That's my story and I'm sticking to it, but it is getting a point light. Now, there was a bug where the renderer was crazy with a point light. So we're gonna make this orangey. We'll will make it pretty bright, and it's going to be at the muzzle. And then, of course, it's going to... so that's what it looks like. Why don't I see it on the floor? Is it inside? Just pause for a second. Where's my camera? Oh, does it not release when it's not? That's weird. Anyway, player, point light. What? Oh, it was inside. Was it inside? Oh my gosh. I just don't get why I can't, ah, if you're paused, you can't look at the camera. That's a bit weird. He keeps turning away from me. Oh, it's because the radius is tiny. That's better. What do you guys think of this? Is this too much for a muzzle flash? Looks kind of dope, I think. We turn off icons. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that. I mean, that looks a bit weird. Again, I guess because the radius is just weird. I mean, it'll only flash for like a second or two, you know. But let me turn off icons and just have a little look. So it's right out the front, right? Yeah, right out the front. Radius, let's do 4 meters maybe. Okay, and so that point light, so gun point light, let's call it muzzle flash. So let's do I guess we can just do muzzle flash, and then we can just be like, hey, muzzle flash, get component, point light component, light. So we can just do that, and then that way when I shoot, if it's ready to shoot, which is here, then if you're actually shooting, then we can do intensity equals like 10 or whatever we wanted it to be, and then we can have a cooldown, muzzle flash, cooldown, like honestly 0.2, like 200 milliseconds maybe. That's probably too long, but basically I guess update shooting can handle that. If muzzle flash cooldown greater than 0, muzzle flash cooldown minus equals time step, and if muzzle flash cooldown is now less than 0, because I don't want to do it all the time, then we'll set intensity to 0. So we have a very brief window here, and we just need to make sure player has its muzzle flash set. Okay. Yo. What is so difficult about this? I mean, it's a bit sus that I'm doing this here, but I feel like that should have worked. And then you guys, you don't really need this, but I just didn't want to repeatedly be setting it every frame, that's all. That's a bit lame. I guess because it doesn't have shadows or anything. Well, actually, it could be a spotlight. Maybe it's just too bright as well. Probably too bright. Let's set intensity to like 2 or something. Oh, and if you hold it, it stays lit. I mean, it should also probably just be a random value. That could be cool. The radius looks a bit big, yeah. Hazel, random, float. Plus 0.5 times 2 plus 0.5. Yeah, that's, I mean, that's better. Just having it be randomized like that is nice. I mean, this already looks better. I think you can probably shoot too fast as well. What's the cooldown for shooting? Didn't I have a cooldown for shooting? Update shooting, delta time? Nah. Yeah, that's not great. That'll be based on the weapon. So we won't shoot. I mean, that almost looks like the muzzle flash cooldown should be a little higher. Where's this muzzle flash cooldown? Where does this get set? Or it doesn't. Wait, what? Why would this be here? Why did I do this? Oh, no, that's resetting it. So where does it set the intensity here? Oh, here, right? So then it should also probably set the cooldown. I mean, that's dumb. That's way too long. I mean, it should be really quite quick. Like, I don't know if maybe 1 frame is good. What could be cool as well is, so the radius is a bit high maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I should have a cooldown. I feel like it looked better when it was like literally 1 frame. Let's not do that. And the problem is you don't want to, like, you can set it to be for 1 frame specifically. I think that looked a bit better. Maybe you'd want it more intense because, or the radius a bit higher because it's like that. And also, what I thought would be cool is if you literally, one thing you could do, so let's actually just start that at 0, is you could, like at the moment it's just a point light, but what we could do is we could add a mesh to it. We could add a cube to it, right? No, not a freshly imported one, but just a cube. And if we scale, let's reset that. Oh no. Oh damn. Wait, what? What's the gun though? Why did this get reset? What? But that... well, that's weird. Ah, no, I see. That's fine. No, let's, that's very bad that I did that. So if this is my muzzle flash, let's just copy, I guess this, because see, it has like a special scale on it to offset that scale, because that's been non-uniformly scaled. But anyway, if I add, what was it, a point light, and paste that in. Alright, so it's got a point light. It's got the same point light it used to, yeah. That's all kind of the same. Let's delete the muzzle flash. Well, we could have copied the transform, I guess, actually, but whatever. We've got a new entity now. Oh, that's bad because the player's lost its muzzle flash because we made it a new entity. But anyway, so that should still be the same. But the reason why I've done this is because we're gonna have this guy. I don't know if this is a great idea, but my idea was basically to just make a material like for the muzzle flash. And then this guy could be the muzzle flash material. And then this is just going to be like basically some, you know, emissive, huge kind of material. And this will just appear for like a second. But the point is, like, it'll literally be a flash. So it looks a bit better. And I guess we maybe would elongate it a bit. So it's coming out of the gun, you know? I mean, we could even, like, I don't know if a cube is the best thing. Like, we could make it a cone. Maybe that would be better. Do we have any other primitives here? Hexagon. Oh, we got hexagon. No, that's the one I made. I was gonna say. Cone. Okay, fine. Let's make a cone. Okay, that is a weird cone. Like, as in the scale is weird. Well, actually, that might suit it. And that's a weird rotation as well. Check that out. That's kind of cool. It's like a muzzle flash. And then the idea is to so I think we can basically make that not be a thing until we shoot, right? So that's the muzzle flash. And it's got a point light as well. So I think what we can do, if I remember correctly, because this is a bit dodgy in Hazel at the moment, but I think what we can do is we can basically grab this muzzle flash entity, and I think you have to get the static mesh component. This is a bit dodgy, as I mentioned, and then set visible to false, and it won't render. Otherwise it will. I mean, that looks like a muzzle flash now, because I guess you have one frame of that entity actually being there. I don't know if it translates well to the stream. And I mean, you could play with the scale as well. I guess you'd want to, right? So when you do that, maybe also be like scale equals basically the existing scale times a random value. But you'd want to maintain the initial scale, because otherwise you could deviate further and further from it. So we could do that times float, like, well, I guess times 1. Well, times float is fine, but as long as we do float, like, maybe times 0.3 plus 0.7, no, no, let's do, so how much? Maybe 0.5 plus 7.5. So we can go 0.25 like either side of the scale. So I guess that would give us a different sized. Oh, we crashed, guys. We crashed. Basically of this stream, yeah. Of course it's in physics. Peter's new physics engine has proven to be dodgy. I think I know why. No, well, lock succeeded. Access violation. I guess body is probably null or something. Lock.get body, and that might be null. Or like not correct. Weird. I guess I'll send Peter this just in case he knows what the deal is. I don't. I prefer I was saving that scene because I did do quite a little bit of work on it. Yeah, it looks like it. I have a pretty good habit of pressing Control S. Doesn't seem to be crashing anymore.
What do you think about having a pseudo Cherno logo on the first helmet?
Sure. Okay, so accuracy maybe. So did we want to have that like line there? Can we even? Does that work in the runtime? Because it is a debug rendering line thing. I think it should work though. So 10 meters is how long the raycast is. So that's what this kind of shows us. That doesn't look like 10 meters. That can't be 10 meters, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think that's 10 meters, but it's not 4 either. Maybe that is 10 meters. Yeah, because that's longer. I guess it's just hard to tell because of the perspective. But yeah, I don't know, like it's kind of like a laser sight, I guess is the point. I could make it stop. I guess that would make more sense, right? If we made it stop. But for that to work, we'd basically have to cast a ray. I guess every frame, which is okay. Let's just do it twice for now, but you know. Yeah, we probably shouldn't do this more than once, but the whole point of this, I guess, is just to see the distance of the hit, because that's gonna be the line length. So line length is gonna be math f min, hit distance, or line length. I think that should be okay. Oh, although that might be weird. Yeah, because the collider's bigger. Right. But we can just offset that. Because it'd be better to be inside probably the enemy anyway. Yeah, so see, now we can do this. I mean, that's a bit weird, but... Okay, I was gonna do the accuracy. So the accuracy situation, how's that gonna work? So I'd want the laser to. Oh, I guess that would be kind of like recoil. I probably should not make like this guy here. Yeah. This should probably. I wish I could hide this muzzle flash entity, but I literally cannot hide entities in Hazel. Gun barrel. Let's just call it. So this is kind of where, I guess this gun barrel is really where, oops, that laser thing should come from. So basically, where's the debugger ender thing? It should kind of be, and I guess translation plus, yeah, so it's kind of converging to the center, which is nice, but gun barrel, transform world, transformed or translation, I guess, or position, it's called for some weird reason. Yeah, so see, now we're kind of, that's hilarious. I guess he should try and turn his thing to go there, right? Because that's stupid. Yeah, I don't think I should have done that. No, well, to be fair though, it doesn't have to be the middle, because it's not first person, right? So... do that. Yeah, and then that will just be... Now it's offset from the gun. And the reason why is because now we can add some recoil to the gun. Which is going to be a bit... I guess we could just make it go like that. Right? So just add a little bit of X rotation. Why is that 500? This is being weird. Sure. So subtract a bit of X rotation. Sure. Alright. So no, we don't have the gun, do we? We've got everything except the gun. Did I compile that? No. Okay, what's with the white outline? What does that mean? Oh, bounding boxes. I showed bounding boxes. Don't know how, but cool. Alright, so yeah, so that will just do that rotation. Okay. So then when we fire, we can basically, it can be the shot cooldown. That's kind of cool. It shows you how long until you can fire again. Why not? But when you do fire, you'll have to do gun dot rotation equals gun, well, yeah, equals new, I guess, vector 3 gun dot rotation, I guess, dot x, and then the rest we don't care about, so we can just do yz, but the x will subtract, this will be in, yeah, so let's just do 30 degrees maybe. Well, again, it'll be random, I guess, probably. And then we can lerp it back to where it needs to be, or ease out back where it needs to be, whatever. Math f dot degrees to radians. Let's try that. And then we'll do every frame, I guess. Gun dot rotation. I guess we can just do it to x, can't we? How do we know what x is supposed to be though? And also, if we add 30 degrees like that, I feel like, I have a feeling it's not going to work properly. Because it'll be, it's kind of like the whole quaternion problem thing. Unless we explicitly set it to like, if it's exactly 180, and we know we can just set it to like 150, and then we can animate it back up to 180. Ugh, that's disgusting though. I don't know if this will work. Mathf dot lerp. So let's see, shot cooldown is going to be 200 milliseconds. We kind of know that though. So we could just do times 5, I guess, to get it up to 1. Oh, but no, but when, oh yeah, I guess, and it's gonna go down, so we can lerp down. That's fine. And so we're lerping down to, well, yeah, 180. I mean, honestly though, is what we're lerping down to, because we don't know what the current rotation is. Oh, this is a bit annoying. I feel like I did this in Forest or something, didn't I? Let's just set it equal to a flat 150. I don't really care. And then we can lerp down to like 180 from current area. Nah, this is a bit weird, but it is what it is. Why are you annoying? Do I have an extra parenthesis or something? What am I missing? This is the lerp, right? And then that's the x. Or is there just not a constructor that takes that in for some weird reason? Yeah, okay, that wasn't a constructor. I don't think this is gonna work. Oh, it actually does work. It's just not attached anymore. What? What the heck? Why not? Setting the rotation just completely makes it not attached anymore. Yeah, look, it's attached. But then if you set the is that because it's like a physics? It is a physics. Go away. Everything's a physics object these days. I did it. And it's cool because it moves the thing. Okay, so we got like some shooting going on now, which is nice. You can just hold it as well. I guess you'll have finite ammo though. I guess the gun force is not where it should be, but now it's not really the time to balance that. This is the force. I think the enemies are just too heavy. That's probably too late. Away. It'd be nice if it also, I guess, added some angular. Like something, you know. Can I do that? There's also add force at location. It could be at the location of the hit. That might be interesting. That would be cool. Let's try that. So we'll do add force at location, and it should probably know where it got hit, right? So hit position. Location, hit dot position. And maybe let's make it, now that I've made the enemies lighter, let's go back to this. Yeah, that's a bit cooler. But yeah, the weirdness is like, again, the physics is a bit weird because of the way everything is. Yeah, if I did just make like a, basically like I was thinking, if I just make an empty end, like if I just make, let's just show the physics colliders. If I just do this basically, and then I add a like box collider to it, and I obviously make it like, you know, huge, except on the Y. So there it is. And then I don't know, I could like make sure that it's kind of above the hexagons, which I don't know if it would be. Then it shouldn't really. No, I can't seem to shoot these guys. Is that because it's hitting my collider? But the collider's below the hexagons at the moment, right? Yeah, it is. What am I hitting then? Well, no, that worked. They just don't seem to... Oh, I'm not hitting them, I'm above them. That's why. Okay, but anyway, so if we take this, and if we... This is it, right? Like 0.9 or something? I don't know. No, they still go up. But also, it's probably because their weird restitution is too high. Where's an enemy? Or at least... Yeah, restitution and friction. But then also, I guess the plane's restitution needs to be low. And friction needs to be high, maybe. Bro's like full on ice skating. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. The physics is super weird. Like, Peter was saying he likes this new physics engine, but I'm seeing weirdness. He needs to play with the physics when he wakes up. Alright, well, I might have a Tim Tam now to reward myself, and then I'll probably go to sleep. Why work too hard, you know? And then I'll be back in the morning. But for now, I want to get a Tim Tam. There it is. The Tim Tam that I deserve. Peter's just having fun with ragdolls, yeah. Bro, these guys are kin. Yeah, Tim is streaming. If you guys go to studiocherno.com, you can see everyone's streaming on the same page. That was a nice Tim Tam. Clean up all these. They should kind of be shooting at me though. I should have cover. Wouldn't it be nice to have like some kind of walls? Because otherwise it's very flat, right? What about one at an angle? the textures are nice. Okay, so what did I do with this? Like, where were they supposed to be? Here? Yeah. Where's the other wall? There's only two. Oh, the other one's probably too low. I kind of thought they'd be... I guess bigger. Huh. Too bad you suck at pathfinding. But yeah, jumping would be cool. And then being able to hide. Whoa. Oh, that's right. That player spawns this. I totally forgot about this. That's funny. Spacebar does that. Because that was like the blood effects I first did. Yeah, and I guess... Why can't I go through... Why can't I go through that? Oh, because I'm not a physics person. Kind of. The movement, I think, is not physics based. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a limit to how fast you can spin the view camera around? Not really. Like, pretty quick. Like, obviously you can play with the sensitivity as well. Alright, so... So. There's another crash, and guys, where is it? Which system is it in? Say it with me. It's in the physics system. You know who wrote a really solid renderer, turns out, apart from one typo which crashed everything? Because I accidentally made a typo.
Wait, but what about spotlights?
Oh, well, like come and look. This will be embarrassing if they don't work, but I'm pretty sure they work. How do I even improve this? Let's make a plane so that we can cast shadows onto it. Okay, so...
Click on the entity.
No, there's no spotlight yet. That's the point light. Wait.
No, point lights. I think is what's point.
What do you mean?
I think that's what
Point lights? Well,
select the entity or the point.
like that, they're definitely working. Look.
Yeah, no, it's not that they weren't working, it's that you know that there was those artifacts.
Oh, that, yeah.
I think that was happening.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be for me for some reason, even though I have seen it on my computer. But spotlights,
No, they
as
work.
you can see,
I think
work, and also even cast shadows.
Bonus feature.
Or do they? They definitely work.
Well, it's hard to cast a shadow. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. That's strange.
Oh, and there's a range as well. Yeah. Yeah, Spotlights do seem to work. Well, the artifacts are fine though, because they're not really. That's if you select it. That's like an editor only thing.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that was only if you had the entity selected.
But
I think it
that's
was
not
something to
even
do with the
happening.
icon or like, I don't know, some weird thing. It tried to like draw a selection outline around the light itself. I don't know.
Yeah, like that's still happening. But yeah, you're right. It is only when the entity is selected.
Peter's fault. Yeah. I don't know. The worst thing about these crashes is that they just happen randomly during gameplay. So like I'm very scared because if Peter doesn't iron these out, then we could ship a game that crashes. Which surprisingly we haven't done yet. I don't think. Like I feel like our games either work or they just don't open. Like it's one or the other. There's no like, oh, it crashed during. So Peter, yeah, Peter, it looks like Peter's gonna have to polish up the physics engine. But good thing is this is all kind of recorded and you know, Peter can investigate what I did to cause the crash or whatever, or look at the call stack more closely because I don't care, but yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I am done at this point. I'm just wasting time. I should probably go to bed. Yeah, I don't know what the game is exactly. Like, as in, I do have an idea, but I mean, this is like, to be fair, it's been 12 hours since it started, and then we're doing a 72-hour one. Like, there is a lot of time until Tuesday morning for us. So, I feel like this is not bad. This is not a bad start. It's like it's due tomorrow is what I'm feeling. Raise some of the tiles randomly. Yeah, that could be cool. Let me just try that before I leave. Just because I want to see what that looks like. But yeah, that would look cool, I think. Where's my level generator? No, it's called dummy, the file, because that was the one Peter committed. Yeah, so that's the Y. So I guess we can do, well, we could make them all be at different heights, basically, within a meter. So that's what this would look like. Whoa. I mean, that does look more interesting. At the moment, it doesn't really care about the physics, though. But that looks kind of dope. Tim, come check this out. Look, I raised the heights differently. This could be something, you know? Because suddenly you have more challenging terrain to kind of go
Well, yeah,
through.
that was one of the things that I said, like, that terrain is part of the challenge.
Yeah, because, oh, hello. And look, I clicked again and it crashed in the physics engine.
Yikes.
Have you told Peter that?
I think this is one that's happened before. Perlin noise. Yeah, we're gonna use some kind of noise. But like, to be honest, I kind of like the chaotic nature of not using noise, but just random. Because like, I mean, that looked cool. Because like, you know, picture, and I literally can't click, man. Because I guess, you know why? It's because it's hitting... Oh, I know why. But Peter should have protected against this. It's because my ray is hitting a static rigid body. It's hitting the terrain, and it's trying to apply an impulse to it. Because the gun ray cast is hitting.
Yeah.
It's just doing it to whatever entity it hits. But like, you know, that shouldn't crash the engine.
No, that should just continue.
Yeah, okay, I won't shoot then. But like, what I'm saying is like, imagine if like, you can't just step onto this one. We could have the character, because you wanted to use Zero Axis character controller.
Yeah.
The character controller can automatically step up on ledges, right? But if it's too high, like this one, I guess I'll show stream. Like this one, you have to do some parkour. You'll have to jump onto it. But my point is that might be fun with coffee. But what's also really cool about this terrain is that it lets you seek cover from enemies. Because if
trapped by enemies.
Well, yeah, but they're gonna, like, at the moment they're just going right towards you. But my plan is to make them try and shoot you. you know, because they're
They
gonna
have
they're
no
not gonna.
pathfinding, right? They're just-
No, and we're not gonna add that. But like, you know, it might be cool to use that kind of terrain to your advantage. But of course, you could like Perlin noise would be nice because it would let us control it obviously a lot more.
Because we gotta think about the general. Like he's gotta be somewhere at a valid spot on the map as well, right?
Larger hexagons, that's also, I guess, a possibility.
Only if you scale them in Hazel. Because
Like, oh, because you made them.
I've already started making them.
That's alright though. No, this size I think is cool.
But to be honest, yeah, I really wouldn't change the size at this point because the players already kind of.
Look at that. That's kind of cool. Just seeing them like rush at you from the distance. I clicked. How dare I click? Thank you, Peter. Although it is my code, kind of my C# code that's causing that, but yeah. I don't know. I think that would be kind of cool. Like this itself makes it just look really cool. And I can't like these colors just remind me of like Google or something. Oh, and like we could introduce the fog that we had in Forest, not the weird transparency shader effect, but the fog, because I guess that would. Oh, wait, let me look. I don't even know what that is. Though. That's a shader, so it's not in the game. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's cool, though. It's a good idea to kind of raise these. Because it means that it looks like this. The blue hexagon's not specular reflective. No, the hexagons have different roughnesses. And I just made the warm tones reflective. Just because it looks cool. So the blue and green ones, as you can see, like with this specular highlight here, they're not. Oh no, that's my drawing thing. They're not reflective, but then these guys are. I don't know if it looks that necessarily that cool when it's like this, but when it's like if you had them all flat, I think it is a cool effect. Because when it's all flat, you kind of get like the specular highlight, as you can see, kind of there's like some matte tones and some specular ones, and it just makes it look a bit more interesting, kind of like tiles. So that's what I did, yeah. Oh, and also the other thing we could turn on, which I haven't really been turning on for this, is we could also have screen space reflections on, and then I guess if you're on over reflective tiles, then you'd see like it's a little hard to see, but you can see the reflection of certain things. I mean, it's pretty obvious, like for this. Oh, and that's half resolution. You can make it full resolution, so it looks nicer. You can kind of see the reflection. There's like a shadow, and there's a shadow, and there's a reflection. They're just not very distinct, so the reflection kind of looks like the shadow. And that won't happen over. That'll only happen over things with an appropriate level of roughness, whatever, but yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I'll be back soon-ish. Maybe, well, no, not that soon. I'll try and be back in like 10 to 12 hours. Maybe a bit less, hopefully. But yeah. You guys can go watch Tim. I can't raid because YouTube doesn't support that, but what I can do is send you a link to Tim's stream. So I want to do that. You guys can go and raid Tim because he's actually partly looking. What's he doing now? No, he's substance painting the character. So yeah. Oh, YouTube does support raids? Really? How do I raid Tim? I don't see a raid button anywhere. Do I have to do like /raid or something cryptic? But he has to allow you to raid him. I don't know. This is too difficult though. Like... I'm not gonna do that. You guys can just go. And look, Tim apparently has 0 crashes. But it is sponsored by Hazel, so who knows. Alright, thank you guys. See you next time. Goodbye.